It's the Playhouse Podcast with Kat and JJ.
Believe it. I missed everything.
Missed the show?
What am I going to do?
Check out the Daily Podcast.
You check into the hotel, you open your door, and you found what? Also, would you ever stop dating someone because they were a vegetarian or a vegan? Just some of our favorite moments of the week are dead ahead with the podcast. Let's go.
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo. Bingo!
Bingo what bingo?
Bingo! I can only imagine how this is going to go. We're doing listener bingo this morning. Two things that we're looking for. Michelle is the first one through, but is she somebody listening who
only really has a certain gender in their family? We heard from this family in Texas celebrating their first baby girl in over 108 years. So this guy, he's like, I did it. I have what it takes
Nothing
to make
do with
a baby
you, but
girl.
it was all me.
Yeah, but everyone is just so excited. So.
My goal this morning is to find somebody who's following in mom and dad's footsteps, but not in like the family business. You just decided, boy, they seemed happy. They really like their career. I want the same thing. So, Michelle, which one?
So actually, I have my son on the phone with me, and it's Eric. He is followed in his dad's footsteps. I'll let him talk.
All right. Good morning, Eric. How are you?
Did you anticipate being on the radio today? Your mom's like, he needs to tell his truth.
Yeah, no, I was not expecting that this morning.
Oh.
So
Thanks, Mom.
I got to be honest. I didn't expect you to be a grown-ass adult. I thought when she said I have my son on the phone, he was going to be like 9.
Yeah.
And you were like, well, I want to be a farmer like Dad. So what do you do?
I'm a police officer.
Okay.
Oh,
and so
okay.
Dad was a cop, you're a cop, and he didn't come home and scare you out of the profession?
No. I bet they thought they would have, but absolutely not.
So what's the most rewarding part about this? I know you see the both ends. You see the absolute worst in society, and then you try and do the serve and protect thing. But like, what makes you want to keep going and doing this every day?
I just like the aspect of meeting new people every day and just being able to try to make a difference in everybody's lives for the better.
Are you running for office?
Because I'm sorry.
I said, are you running for office?
No.
Sounds like a
no, never.
Okay.
Never. I don't want any part of that.
Oh, I get it. That is like a thankless job.
So tell me, Eric, what does a regular day look like for you? Do you go in and before you get on the road or into the community, is there a lot of prep work that goes into this?
Not necessarily. Because all you got to do is show up to work, just get in your uniform, you brief with other officers about whatever happened during the day, and then you just go drive around, take your calls, and make sure that people are being safe on the road. If they're not, then you make some traffic stops.
So if we have one message from you to the public, what would it be? Like one thing that you and a fellow officers are like, you want to grab us by the shoulders, wish they knew to do this or would do this more. Just be nice to each other?
Slow down.
Yeah, I would say that. Just be nice to each other, and I guess if you just see somebody who needs any type of help, don't be afraid to go out of your way to go help them.
Yeah, great advice.
And I'm going to add, he's being humble. He's received 2 life-saving awards very recently. And very heroic, let me say.
Look at Mama.
Look at you chiming in,
Look at Mama
Mom.
Bear. I love
this.
that.
So, Eric, just one last question because I have so many questions about this. So you go to work, you put your uniform on, you get briefed, but you don't go out and like follow up on anything. You just kind of wait for something to happen?
No. So the department that I'm at, we're a bit smaller, so we do... When we get a call, if there's an investigation that needs to be done, as patrol officers, we take care of our own investigations. Unless it's something that is outside of our realm, then we pass it on to our investigator.
I got that. Last question for you. When you put on, I know I have another last question. I always have 2 last questions. We see the worst in people in social media situations with police officers. Are you fearful for your life when you leave in the morning, or are you pretty confident with your skill set that society is going to be able to keep you safe if you keep them safe?
I'm confident in my abilities in society. I always look forward to going to work every day.
And who's more likely to have police handcuffs in their bedroom, Kat or myself?
Me.
I'm going to go with you.
No, it's that's for sure wrong. Kat, she's big into restraint. So hey, I appreciate you guys checking in. This is super interesting. Go get them today. I hope you're safe, and thanks for keeping us safe, all right?
Oh, thank you.
Good morning, guys, and welcome back. I appreciate this. You ever been through any EMT classes or first responder classes?
No, but I did have to take, when I started babysitting, they had babysitting classes at the community education office. And so you had to do like CPR and stuff like that. So,
which is crazy because a lot of what you learned is not protocol anymore.
I know. You just got to do your best.
I took an EMT / first responder class when I was a junior in high school. The guy that was teaching it was the kind of head of our ambulance for our city. His son was an emergency room doctor. And so I got to see a lot of really, really funky stuff. So that's our question for you today. If you're any kind of a first responder or EMT, have you seen anything that we would consider a little odd?
I wanted to hear your story because I can't imagine what this hike down was like for these EMTs and first responders. They had to go to the Catskill Mountains, these 4 hikers in their 20s. Took some psychedelic mushrooms, and one of them, it was such a debilitating high, they had to call for help. And they were like, we can't get this guy down. He is eating his ear, and we don't know what's going on.
Brandon, come down. No, man, no. There's an elephant up here. He's stalking me. But
we're playing chess.
And how do you stay professional and not laugh at that?
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And really, you just got to kind of wait for him to wear off. And Jay, you've got some experience in this field.
Yeah, so, I work as an EMT, and you see all kinds of crazy stuff when you work at that kind of job. But, one time we get a call. I show up, dude is bugging out, like literally, like he goes, I got bugs under my arm.
Do you assume right away that they're on meth?
Like psychedelics, maybe?
I mean, 9 times out of 10, yes. Okay. Maybe it's something different, but most of the time, people get a little too high or something, and then they call us. But we show up, and usually they're on something. You can tell.
So set the scene? What was he doing?
Pacing back and forth. He kept saying, they're in my skin. I can feel them. They're crawling around. And it was like, and I thought maybe it had been some type of infestation. Maybe he sat on an ant bag. I did that when I was a kid, like they crawl all over you. But you can't see. You're just freaking out.
Oh my God.
Sometimes you get attacked by bees or something.
Yeah. Was he scratching his skin and scratched it off or what?
Yeah, he was bleeding. He had blood just kind of dripping down from his arm. And when he reveals his arm to me, he said, they're inside my skin. And he said, showed me his arm, and there was this patch of skin missing. He was kind of hanging off a little bit.
Oh my God.
You know what amazes me is hearing these stories, and people will still do these drugs.
It's called an addiction. It's something you can't control until you're ready to get some help.
I know, but if you hear this right now, think of how many thousands of people are hearing this right now, and then there's somebody else that's going to start this drug after hearing this. That's what blows my mind. I was wondering how everybody listening deals with stress. How do you decompress from the stress in your life? And I think this is the time of the year where people let it start building. Everyone's got whimsical summers, right? You really don't have any rules. And then all of a sudden the kids go back to school and you're back at work and everything's got structure and you're really kind of just buckled down until the holidays. How do you decompress from stress best?
So I would say when I am the least stressed, it's when, and I've put it on my socials, but I'm sitting in our oversized chair in our living room, and I have my coffee and a candle and the fireplace, and nothing else is happening. That can't always be the case, but I go get massages. That is the least stressed, because somebody is working on a painful part of my body, like my lower back or something. And then I have to picture myself in a log cabin somewhere, a babbling brook next to me, or else I'm going through my grocery list, or else I'm going through what else I have to do after my massage. So it's an active memory game that I have to do, or brain trick.
So your best way to relieve your stress is getting a massage.
Yeah.
For me, it's just playing pool. I figured it out yesterday, and this is where it kind of came to fruition, is I had about a half hour between what I was doing and when I had to leave for football practice, and I just went out to our shed all by myself, in the quiet. There's nothing except for a fan going. The dog is running around in the shed, and I just played pool. And when I got done, I went, wow, I feel good.
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
I just like relaxed. So that was the question this morning. Here's some of the answers that have flowed in so far.
My big thing is just taking a moment to myself. You fill up a cooler with food and beverage, hop in the Jeep, and just go trailing in the woods all day long.
Punch some walls. Horseback riding and gardening.
Recently, it's been, I guess, just weightlifting or exercising.
Normally, I swear and throw things.
I like to shower.
Have some cold drinks with some friends and family.
Go hunting. I go for a nice long drive and listen to some music.
There it is. So other than the punch some walls thing, I think everything else is probably a pretty good suggestion.
Yeah, some people say the gardening, that would stress me out completely. My mother-in-law is like, oh, I'm in a different state of mind. I put my headphones on and I just get my hands dirty. I'm like, gross. No, thank you. That's not how I would do it. Erica says simply Ativan. So it's just a medically induced stress reliever, which I'd like to say I don't have, and I should knock on wood, a very stressful life. I try to handle things as they come and not really push them off. The days when I do a ton for everyone, and my mom does that too with her parents and my dad, and and then you have a family on top of it, that can get pretty stressful.
Christina said a long walk by the beach, music in my ears. Here's my only problem with the long walk. And I don't mind doing this, especially during the summer. I like taking our dog for a long walk, but I don't really have everywhere that I can get out to that would be a long walk is a no shoulder on the side of the road, 55 mile an hour road.
Yeah.
So I got the dog on the tight leash and then I see a vehicle coming. We have to get in the ditch. So that's not like stress free because I'm afraid. Listen, if something happens to that dog, my life is over. There is zero. If you're listening and you're any kind of a crime scene investigator or whatever, and you're wondering what happened to me, it was my wife.
Yeah.
If something happened to the dog, I'm next. And I'm not really, that's a stressful moment for me.
You have the most ideal home for just de-stressing. Just going to sit out in an Adirondack chair and just staring at the water. To me, I always talk about our journey of hopefully someday ending up with a lake house. That's what I want.
It's good right
that'll
now,
do it for me.
Except for the skeeters.
Oh, sure.
So then
Get one of those soccer mom tents where it's like you'll look like a little minion, but
I'm not doing that.
Why
so
not?
What's your way to distress? Do you have a really great way? Share with us. I don't know where it came from, but all of a sudden you got the little cold, the sniffles. My wife has it. My son has it. There was several kids on our football team yesterday that weren't feeling completely up to speed. But if that time of the season hits, we should talk comfort food. So when you were sick, you would get what?
So it was either the Campbell's chicken noodle soup or it was just popsicles. We would just have popsicles after popsicles or freezies. And it just made you feel good because odds are you had a fever and then it cooled you down a little bit.
Well, and they were left over from the summer when people didn't eat them and your mom and dad were like, I got to get these out of the freezer.
You just had a stack of wrappers.
But it makes sense that if your throat hurts or maybe you got strep, the popsicles are going to kind of calm them down. How's Katie doing this morning?
I'm doing pretty good.
We saw your text, and I was so interested in this. Tell everybody what you got for a comfort food when you were a sick kid.
It would be poached eggs on toast with one of my mom's favorites to make us, or just plain scrambled eggs.
Okay.
That's nasty.
And that carries over into adulthood. You can use that when you've had a long night.
Okay, I get that. The eggs that might be able to soak up some of the crap still in your gut. But you're 7 years old and you got the flu, and your mom would give you a poached egg?
Yeah, yep. It's it's really nice on the stomach.
Okay, and you said you've carried this on to your children?
It's our hangover medicine.
Yep, for sure.
Will you give your kids poached eggs?
I did, yep.
Katie, will you give your kids poached eggs?
Yep. My daughter loves scrambled eggs too. Yep.
Yeah, I think kids like the scrambled, but man, I just imagine myself laying on our old green couch, watching Deputy Dog when I was 8 years old. It's just sick as just completely on my deathbed. If my mom would have walked up and been like, honey, here, eat this poached egg, I would have went to school instead. You know what I mean? That just sounds nasty to me.
Well, it must work.
We loved it.
Good.
Is it because did you grow up on a farm? Did you have chickens?
We did have chickens, yep.
Okay, I think that's where that comes from.
That was my brother's favorite thing, and only thing he would eat would be the yolk, and he would leave everything else behind.
Oh my God, this isn't making me feel
Y'all
good.
are a weird family,
Gross.
Katie. I don't know if I want you calling the show anymore. But I appreciate you calling today. I hope you have a great morning. Ever walk into a hotel room and think about starting your vacation, your time away, and then you see something absolutely gut-wrenching?
So don't you feel like it normally goes, you walk in, everything seems really good until maybe you just like sit down and take in the sights, and then you're like, oh no, they forgot to vacuum, or they didn't wipe this off, or this has like blood on it, or, you know. And I remember going to this really cute boutique-y hotel that I booked for all of us when we took Liam to Chicago for his birthday. And we get there, and it's so fancy, the lobby, the neon lights, just like super sexy and fancy. Then we get up to our room, looks beautiful, but they always say, like, do the toddler angle. And toddlers are crawling. So if you crawl, you're going to see all the bad stuff.
I've never heard this before.
People that go and do check-ins on hotels, you know, they want to make sure that everything is vacuumed. The floor was covered in hair, like somebody had just blow-dried their hair. They didn't Swiffer.
Maybe they had their dog there.
They didn't vacuum. No, it was like long brown female hair. And then Liam is like, just like being a kid, hopping around, looking under the bed and stuff. He goes, oh, Mom, I found your necklace. I'm like, we just got here. Why would my necklace be under there? And then he goes under the other bed and he goes, Mom, I found your hair tie. I go, once again, why would my hair tie be under the bed? And it had just ratted up hair in it. And it was one find after another, a little treasure hunt.
I have a friend, her and her husband, they just took a little bit of road trip at the end of the summer with their kids to Kansas City, and they walk in the hotel room and under the sink. And so I guess it had to be the cleaning person's hair extension laying under the sink because everything else was clean. And you think they do that like last minute once through. But I just wanted to know, when you walked into that hotel room, what was nasty? And we've been trading texts with Anna, and I'm very excited to get to yours because if I'm reading this right, this is pretty nasty. What'd you guys find?
I travel a lot, and so I stay in a lot of hotel rooms, so I'm extremely thorough.
Sure.
Every time I go to a hotel. Like, my husband already thinks I'm a little too much sometimes about it, but I really care about, you know, things being sanitary.
Yep.
I don't know if you know about bed bug infestations, but you do not want that, so I always check my mattresses.
Okay.
And when I was checking the mattress, I looked underneath, and there was a used tampon under the mattress of my hotel room. In the bedroom.
Oh, my
God. Who does that? Like, what are you not even in the, like, if it was in the garbage, you can call,
Even
right? And
then.
like, oh, I think that they, but no, it was like fully used.
You see this, you call down to the main desk, I'm assuming, then what happens?
Yeah, so I called down to the main desk to report it. Meanwhile, my husband is telling me, like, it's not a big deal, that I'm going to get people in trouble. I could have people lose their jobs. But I'm like, they're not doing their jobs. We did end up getting an upgrade, though. Like, I made enough of a stink that we got a much nicer room. And when I checked that room, it was really nice.
Yeah, well-deserved, though. I mean, that's like traumatic to walk into.
Yeah, I was not ready. I actually thought it was like a roach or something at first because it was just that size, right? It was like those big, like, American cockroaches. I was like, I jumped backwards.
So tampon, used tampon.
I would say you're at the top.
Is the leader in the clubhouse. Steven had commented on our Facebook page, some guy's banana hammock.
Okay. So maybe a Cancun trip.
What did you find? You walked into the hotel, the key card hit the door, you open it up, and then bang, you found what that we should know about? We've learned over the years that Kat has this unique way of being able to tell what people do for a living. And all you got to do is give us your first name. So if you want to try this out, I mean, every single phone line is lit up right now if you want to do another round. You cool with this?
Yes, we've had a ton today. This is crazy.
Your name is?
Ann.
Ann, is that just A-N-N, or is there an E on there?
Or is it like an Annabelle? I need like what you were born with.
Yeah, what's on your birth certificate?
Ann, A-N-N.
Okay.
Simple enough. All right, she just comes right back with the Ann. What do you got, Kat?
Well, sadly, some of the most simple ones are kind of tough, but automatically, Ann, do you work for a hospital in some capacity?
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Okay.
So explain to us what you do at the hospital.
So I'm a reimbursement specialist, so I make sure that the claims are paid correctly by the insurance companies.
Nice. Okay, do you see some pretty shady stuff?
No, they're usually pretty good.
Okay.
Are people frustrated with you every day, though?
I don't work with, the patients. I just work with a facility, so we're in the hospital.
All right. So, yeah, on that patient side, though, you'd have to assume that that's a rough job because nobody's ever happy with those.
Well, I would think if anybody's getting reimbursed, you'd actually be a call that they'd want to take.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was more like you had to figure out how much they were going to get back, and then they'd get pissed at you because they weren't getting enough back.
Nope. No.
Oh, okay. So you got a happy job. Well, hey, I appreciate you being part of the little family here.
Yeah, thank you.
Do you want to give this a shot? We could probably take a couple of more. And again, it always just starts when and be honest here, what is your first name?
Lauren.
Lauren. You want to spell that just to make sure Kat's got a good vibe on that?
It's not like a Y or an Ian.
Ian.
Okay,
so
easy.
Lauren.
Yep.
Okay,
All right.
Kat, what are you feeling for Lauren here?
Lauren, are you in property management? Like you go around to different properties and handle it?
Fixing, yeah.
Fixing. Oh my God!
Wow, that takes some skill for sure.
I mean, is this a job you enjoy, like a career you're into, or is this just kind of a holding place?
I enjoy it.
Okay. I like that. And how long have you been doing this?
Only for a week.
A week? Oh my gosh! So this is brand new to you.
Yep.
All right. And what's the freakiest thing you've seen so far?
Nothing yet.
You tell me you haven't walked into an apartment because they needed something fixed and saw intimate things?
Not yet.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Are you one that has to go in and clear out hairballs from the drain, or would you have to call a plumber?
No, we do that.
Oh, gross.
God, I hope today goes well for you. I appreciate you checking in. Stay safe out there, Lauren.
You as well.
All right. Do you got time for one more? You want to do one more?
Yeah, I got one more of me.
All right. Hey, line 4, what's your first name?
Jamie.
Jamie. All right. And that's your birth name? Like Jamie, it's Jamie on your birth certificate?
Correct.
Okay. Kat, what are you feeling for Jamie here?
Jamie, this is a little tricky. Sometimes I have to go to hair color. Are you a brunette or a blonde?
Brunette.
Natural brunette. Okay. All right. That's what I needed. You work in the pharmaceutical world?
Yes.
Very cool. And so what exactly is your job title?
Certified pharmacy technician.
Okay. How long do you go to school for something like that?
I didn't have to actually go to school, but it was a year program that I did while I was working.
Oh, I get it. And you enjoy what you're doing?
I do.
Yeah, I like that. Is it weird to see how many actual drugs are out there? That's got to be mind-boggling.
Oh, my God, there are so many. And the worst thing is someone will call and say, I need my little white pill filled. Well, there's like a bazillion.
Yeah, right.
Bingo. How fun.
Last week, someone lost an eye at bingo.
Bingo what bingo? Bingo.
Natasha's first through, just sitting here waiting on line 1. But is she somebody listening who
has said something to their boss that they just really wanted to get off their chest, or you had a moment of unprofessionalism in the UK? This woman, she sued her boss, even though she was the one that called him a terrible name, and she got $40,000 because evidently in the workplace in the UK, don't try it here. You can't get fired over it.
Like here you can say shag, there you can't.
Right.
Right.
Because it's like the Effenheimer.
Yeah, right. So she calls her boss the D-head. He cans her. She sues him, and she gets $40,000.
Have you ever had a boss that you wanted to yell that right in their face?
I got fired from a radio job, and I told my boss on the way out. So first, they owed me money, and they didn't have it on my severance check. And so I waited in the front lobby and made everybody uncomfortable until they cut me, like hand wrote me another check.
You don't mess with people's money.
And this guy was like 6 foot, maybe about 350 pounds.
Oh,
and and he had the worst wig ever, like male toupee. And I just said, after I took my check, I said, it was a pleasure working here until you got here. By the way, you really stink. You have a bad body odor. And he just kept pointing at the door like he didn't know what to say to me because I love that kind of confrontation. Mm-hmm. So you either said what you really thought about your boss on the way out, or mine is anyone listening who was homeless for a while. I was chatting with one of my high school friends and a girl that we went to school with who was really, really bright. And we had a super small class. He's like, do you know she's living on the streets? And I'm like, wait, what? And nobody really knows, how she got to that point.
In your small town, she's still living
No. She's in Minneapolis, I guess. She had went to college there. And I heard she was married and had kids. And he's like, she's living on the streets. And I'm like, oh, my God. Like, it's a crazy world out there. Natasha, which one do you fit? Who's going to get the bingo here?
JJ.
Oh my gosh, you were homeless for a while. What's going on? Natasha.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's July 23, at the end of July. You know, and how it happened, I still don't know. I just know I was going through it mentally that year for a long time, and all of a sudden it was like there, and I was being kicked out, and I have a 3-year-old child, and it was the most humbling, scariest 12 weeks of my life.
So the child, did they stay somewhere, or did you have a child with you in this situation?
He was with me, and I would do Instacarts every day to make sure we had a hotel. During that 12 weeks, we stayed in the car 6 days. We stayed at a shelter for 9, and the rest of it was in a hotel. Okay. But it was difficult, and I had every resource available, and it was just so hard finding a place. And I would listen to my son every day saying, "Mom, I just want to go home. I just want to go home."
God, that's heartbreaking.
And yeah, it's very humbling quickly, and that's, you know, I kind of get angry when I see people, you know, bash the homeless, because it's like some people, you know, it could happen to anybody.
What got you over the hump? What got you back to, you know, finding a stable spot to live?
It was my son, just, you know, him saying that every day was my push. And, you know, every day I woke up, I'm going to work a little bit harder at finding a place. And it took one landlord to say, yeah, here we go. I can work with her. And I've been at this place for almost 2 years now. And I you know, advocate now for homeless. And so it was an experience.
You saw the worst, and then all of a sudden you saw the best in humanity when that landlord took a chance.
I'm so glad that you were given a chance, because to not only deal with mental health, also being a single mom, and just having to find somewhere for your child to be safe and lay their head, the pressure, I can't even imagine.
So your son is going to be, if you said this was in 23, your son's going to be like 5 or 6 right now. Does he still talk about that time?
Oh, yes. Yes, he does. And it's crazy. He has such a good heart. We were walking out of Savers. He saw a homeless gentleman, and he had his allowance money on him. Oh. And he said, "Mom, I want to give this to that guy." Oh. And I mean, he definitely he remembers it and wants to help.
So through your struggle, your son has really now developed a sense of empathy.
Yes.
He's been there. He's gone through it too.
Definitely.
Do you think that if he had been with you, that you wouldn't have climbed out of that hole as fast as you did?
Oh, I would still probably be stuck in it. It's very easy to get stuck in it. I tell people that being homeless without a child would have been so much easier, because my focus was on him, having a roof over his head, feeding him. I mean, there was days I didn't eat just so I could have a hotel and to feed him. So yeah, it would have been a lot easier to get stuck in.
Yeah. Well, hey, this was really, really brave for you to call this morning. Thanks for sharing. Hopefully it offers some inspiration and some empathy for everybody that's listening.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Have a great day. Can you recap the email we got from Caitlin here real quick?
Yes. And I just want to say, Caitlin, that Samantha texted in, and she kind of agrees with you that, like, not a lot of people take vegetarians seriously, which is weird to me. It's a personal choice. But Caitlin emailed us and said, "I'm trying to make this relationship work, but I feel like maybe this is a glimpse into what my future may be. I've been a vegetarian for 15 years, personal choice." But she's not one of those pushy vegetarians. She's like, "I can eat with people that order wings or burgers. I don't care. However, I've been dating this guy for 3 months. Don't know if it's worth my time anymore. Every single time we make food or we go out to eat, the focus is on the fact that I don't eat meat. He makes such a big deal out of it. He'll order a huge bloody steak, which is fine, but then he'll harass me and be like, come on, just take one bite. And he's hot and he's great with my family, but it's just so annoying." Caitlin, I could overlook a lot of things for like a hot person, but if somebody is like forever harassing me about a personal choice that isn't a big deal, that would wear me down.
I could care less what you eat, but if you ever order milk at a bar
with ice,
I'm probably going to fight you.
Yeah, there are certain things that I don't back down from. But I also don't think a lot of people take others that are vegetarians seriously. Yes, I've made jokes about it.
What do you mean take seriously?
But just like,
Like, you don't think they're good in their career?
I think they always just are looked at like it's a phase instead of just a personal choice that isn't a big deal. Yeah. It affects nobody at all.
There's more meat for me, so I don't care.
There you go. That's a good way to look at it. So I don't know. I would ditch it.
Hey, Brittany, you got a vegetarian story here?
All right. So I was a vegetarian when I was in high school.
Yeah.
And I wrote a 12-page long research paper to get out of the dissecting a frog.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And my dad, I came home on the day. I had 4 friends over to do a slumber party on a Friday. I walk in, and he had frog legs on the counter.
Oh, look at that guy.
For dinner. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you really kidding me? He's like laughing. He's like, yeah, I thought that this would be hilarious. I wanted frog legs after you wrote that research paper and you didn't want to dissect them. It made me hungry for some frog legs.
It makes me hungry for frog legs right now.
Dad doesn't care that you're a vegetarian.
He didn't take you seriously.
Any rags on her. So I don't, maybe just, that's a good watch your bobber scenario. Because it doesn't affect you whatsoever.
Hey, real quick, do vegetarians usually only marry vegetarians? Or will you marry a carnivore?
I think food is a big deal in a relationship. I think it's nice to find somebody that has similarities in cuisine, because then when you're eating at home, you don't have to make 2 separate meals.
So think about this. You're going to make dinner, but your husband doesn't particularly like that. He's on his own to find his own dinner then, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it would be the same thing. And that happens in my family all the time. My son will be like, I don't really want that. I go, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And it's never a big deal. So if I'm making burgers and you're a vegetarian, you're like, I don't want that. Okay, you're on your own.
So last night I stuck to that, and I was very proud of myself because we made chicken wings on the grill and then some smashed Parmesan little red potatoes. And I made it. And then Liam's like, no, I'm not going to have that. And I said, okay. And then Derek and I sat down and ate our food, and he was just kind of looking at us like, excuse you. I put my order in and I said, get up. You know where the blue box is. You know how to work the air fryer. So he made himself some buffalo crispy chicken mac and cheese. I said, there you go. You can do it.
Teaching him life skills.
Yes.
Look at you. Yeah. Mom of the year. Appreciate you joining us. It's Kat and JJ. Now, what would you say as a mother of one 13-year-old is the most expensive part about raising a child?
He wants for nothing, which bothers me because
that doesn't sound very expensive.
I know, but when it comes to like Christmas shopping, the kid's like, oh, I don't really need anything. Could have more problems than that, right? Yeah. So, but I would say if I had to choose something that I shell out money for all the time, it would be sports and camps.
That's exactly what I was.
So sports and camps for sports.
Activities, sporting equipment.
He loves and he thrives. So then as a parent, you're like, I'm getting my money back. Because he's doing something that he loves.
And you're investing in his well-being. First off, if he's an athlete, he's using his body, he's exercising. If your kid's not an athlete, but they're in some kind of a social club, I don't care if it's drama or band or whatever the deal is, they're socializing with other people, right? Like that is going to be the key for the rest of their life, is how do they interact with others to get ahead, to be successful, to be happy.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't believe we're solo creatures. That's a tough life to live when you're just by yourself.
People answering the question on social media, it shows where they're at in life, because if I had answered this question 11 years ago, I would say daycare. But we have people saying Cassidy saying daycare. Ashley says braces. Harmony has hockey times 2. So when it comes to sports, I thank God every day that I shut down that dream of his. I did. I was that mean mom at 6. He was like, I want to play hockey. I said, no, we're not going to do that. Here's a basketball. Why don't you try that? And that's worked out. And I don't have any guilt about that.
You're a lot warmer during the winter, I'll tell you that.
Mm-hmm. So what is the most expensive part of having a kid? College tuition, more kids, sports, college, 100% car insurance. I hear that your car insurance goes up immensely when you get a teen driver on.
Intoxicating. And then when they get their first 2 tickets,
you let them get 2 tickets?
I didn't let anybody do anything. Let's be honest here.
Wow.
My kid was a knucklehead when he first got his license and was driving way too fast.
Jessica says, son reaching the age that he actually cares what he's wearing, waggle hats and jeans. Jessica, your son wears jeans? I have not seen denim on kids in a half a decade.
My son doesn't. He's 17. He doesn't own a pair of jeans.
I used to buy, he used to be oddly shaped. Okay. He's a very short kid. We're short parents. So I would take these jeans that fit his waist and then I'd bring them to the tailor at the mall, get them all tailored.
Hemmed up.
Let's go get your jeans. They're all hemmed up. And then I did that. And I remember that was the start to I think 4th grade. He goes, Mom, nobody's wearing jeans. We're just athleisure all the way.
Yeah.
So
it's a better life too, I bet.
Yeah.
Brenda had texted in orthodontics ×3. I did the same. I had 2 of them go through braces. And I see Stacy said, just groceries.
Yep. Amanda said the same thing. Groceries. And I'm seeing that too. I forget when I was that age, I was a bottomless pit. I would put sprinkled cheese on a plate and microwave it, and I would just eat it.
So the older my son has got and the more athletic he's got, we just have crap in our pantry that's left over from 8 months ago.
Yeah.
Because really all he eats is anything that's high protein now. The question we posed to you was, what is the most expensive thing about raising your child? And you're right. When you start, it's, I can't believe how expensive diapers is. I can't believe how expensive formula is. And then it's, I can't believe how expensive daycare is. And then they get to school. And then it's, I can't believe how expensive food is. And then their activities. Then they get to college. I can't believe how expensive college is.
Depends on where you are in life. We're getting all of those answers. So I'm sure I have something to look forward to with the ones that are talking about tuition. But Steph says dance, sports, football, fishing, clothes, food, hunting. It's like, Steph, you were waiting for us to ask you that question. Shoes for my boys, said 0324. Jeans, clothes for my daughter. 2 boys, 2 girls, along with groceries and sports fees. It's true. It's like the turn of one sports season overlaps with another one. You're like, wait, I thought I just paid $250.
The last
I
number
just paid $300.
I saw was it will cost you over $300,000 to get your child to 18 years old.
Mm-hmm. And then at 18, they can decide if they ever want to talk to you again.
And they can decide on which expensive college they want to go to. And if you're pitching in on that, and then, maybe you're going to pay for half a wedding. And then my oldest is going to get married in a year. And then in a couple of years, he'll be completely off our insurance. And I feel like when you get your baby to walk, there's a level. When you get your baby to school, there's a level. When they graduate, there's a level. When they graduate college, there's a level. When they get married, there's a level. But when they get off your insurance, that seems to be the last level, unless they're still living at home, which they know is not an option. When that last one leaves, it becomes a Trisha and JJ sanctuary. The codes on all the doors are getting changed.
That will never happen.
That will happen.
Your wife will change them back and let them know what the code is.
She'll probably leak the code. You're right. But if you're out there and you're listening, for you, what's the most expensive part about raising your kid? We're here.